with Dr. DeWer R. Pulley and invite them to watch along with you. Well, for 2019, we've been talking about the soul's journey. That the soul's journey is a love journey. And let me tell you, my journey is all about me, and your journey is all about you. Let me say that again. The soul's journey is a love journey. And my journey is all about me, and your journey is all about you. Yes, our paths intersect with other people. They cross with other people, but it's really all about you. There are lessons and blessings along the way that show up in the form of people and experiences, but it's for your soul's growth. It's for your soul's unfoldment. You called for it so that you can heal, so that you can grow, so that you can learn, so that you can be your best self and live your best life. Give me some hands up, give me some high fives, give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up, and let me know that you're on this soul's journey with me. And you realize that it is a love journey, and it's all about you, helping you to be more loving, helping you to be more lovable, even as it relates to other people. So our backdrop scripture is Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 37. And we have been looking at this parable of the Good Samaritan, looking at all the characters along this man's journey and seeing how he is unfolding and developing as a result of the people that he's met. We learned the first person you meet on the journey is you, so he has himself. The second group of people that he meets in the journey are the thieves. The third person he meets on the journey is the priest. The fourth person he meets on the journey is the Levite. The fifth person he meets on the journey is the Good Samaritan. The sixth person that he meets on the journey is the beast that the Good Samaritan is on. And the seventh person that he meets on the journey is the innkeeper. So today we're going to talk about the innkeeper. Somebody say the innkeeper. Innkeeper is like a hotel. We call them hotels, motels, hostels, bed and breakfast, Airbnb. They call them inns. And so the innkeeper was the person who owned the inn or the hotel. And so in this story we see, and our subject for today are terms and agreement. Come on, say with me, terms and agreements. That we have made contracts with people. Before we took on this physical form, there are certain people that we've made contracts with so that our journeys would intersect, so that they would play a particular role, have a particular function in our lives. And so this man had a contract with the thieves, he had a contract with the Levite, contract with the priest, contract with the Good Samaritan, and he also had a contract with the innkeeper. And so the innkeeper comes into the story because the Good Samaritan knows the terms and agreements. Do you know the terms and agreements for the people that are in your life? We have expectations of people that people have not agreed to. And so we got to come up with, what are the agreements? What is it that we've agreed to? And what are the terms? We think that everybody that's in our lives, every person that cross our path, we just grab hold to them so tight, and we think they're going to be there for the rest of our lives. But when somebody crosses your path, it's important to know the terms and agreement, because your soul already made a contract with them. You invited them to play that role in your life. That does not mean that's who they are in everybody's life. I may not be a doctor, but I play one on TV. That may be the role that they're playing in your life, in somebody else's life, because they have a different contract with that person, a different agreement with that person. They may have a totally different experience with that person than you have, because you'll have different contracts and you've agreed to different things, and there are different terms for that person being in your life. So, one thing I love about the Good Samaritan is that he knew himself. He knew what he could do, what he couldn't do. He knew what he was able to do. He knew his limitations. He knew the terms and the agreements. So, pulley point number one is no terms. That's right, I said it. There's some people that come into your life, your paths cross, and there are no terms. It was just an experience. Like when he had that experience with the thieves along the way, it was no terms. They were just there to do what they did as it related to beating him, robbing him, stripping him, and leaving him half naked and half dead. And there were no terms. There just was an agreement for them to do that, but there was no length of time for those thieves to be in his life. There were no terms. And so sometimes people come into your life just for an experience that they've made an agreement with you. There's a soul contract, but there are no terms. There are no length of time of how long they're going to be there. It's an experience. You have the experience, you release the experience, and you let it go. You have the experience, you release the experience, and you let it go. You have the experience, you release the experience, you let it go. And so what happened with those thieves, there was no term there. There was just an agreement for them to play that role for his soul's unfoldment, but there was no length of time. He wasn't going to keep getting robbed over and over again. Those were not the terms. They weren't going to meet at another point in the story. Those were not the terms. The terms were no terms. It's just an experience. And some people in your life, not for any length of time, to teach you something, and there are no terms. It's just an agreement with no terms. Pulley point number 2. I could also, let's stick with point number 1. There were no terms with the priest. We don't see the priest again. There are no terms with the Levite. It's just an experience. Are you able to just have experiences with people? Know that there's no term, get the lesson from the blessing, from the experience, and then release it and let it go. Pulley point number 2, short terms. Pulley point number 1 was no terms, just an agreement, but no length of time, no repeatable process. Pulley point number 2 are short terms. The Good Samaritan crossing this man's path was a short term. It was not meant to last forever. And the Good Samaritan knew it. He came on his beast, he poured in the oil, he poured on in the wine that the man needed, and then he knew that I'm only a short-term person. Therefore, I'm an emergency care person. I'm a person that's a 911 person. I get you out of danger. You know, like those people on the road when you're left on the side of the road. I think it's so beautiful in Florida. And they have like a ranger that comes to help people along the road in case you got a flat tire and you don't have AAA or the police are not coming fast enough. There's a person's role just to ride up and down the highway, up and down the road, to make sure that everybody on the road is safe. And so the Good Samaritan was like that road ranger that just rides up and down the road, making sure that people are safe. And so therefore he knew that his role in the man's life, that his term was a short term. So just as some people in our lives have no terms, it's just an experience, there's some people in our lives that have short terms. And the person who is a short-term person needs to know that you're a short-term person. It's okay to be a short-term person. It's okay to have people in your life and you know that the term is going to be short-term. The challenge is that when we think it's no term and it's really short-term. The challenge is when it's short-term and we think it's no term. But what the Samaritan was so clear about is I am a crisis intervention person. I am a short-term person. I'm an EMT. I'm an emergency room doctor. I'm not your family physician. I'm not your general practitioner. I am an emergency room doctor. I am here for a short term. And so because he knew that about himself and about the experience, pulley point number 3, he took him to the innkeeper. And the innkeeper was a long-term person. He said, I'm going to put you with the innkeeper. I'm going to give you the money, take care of him, do whatever you need to do to help him. As I'm riding up and down the road and I come back past this inn, if the man needs something, I'll pay you for whatever it is that he needs. But I cannot stay here and take care of him. I can't stay here and bandage up his wounds. I can't stay here and rub his back. I can't stay here and rub his forehead. I got to get back on that road because there's somebody else that has been stripped. There's somebody else that has been wounded. There is somebody else that's been left for dead. And that's what unlocks my compassion. Getting into people's immediate crisis situations. But once the crisis is over and I get them to the long-term care person, my job is done with that person and I'm off to the next. So the innkeeper was the long-term care person. There's some people in your life that you've made a contract with, and the agreement is, the terms are that they're going to be there for the rest of your life. They are your forever people. The term is long term. They're going to be there with you through thick and thin. They're your ride or die. They got your back, your side, your front, your head, and your feet. They are long-term people. They are innkeeper people in your life. The Good Samaritan was any less loving to the man than the innkeeper was. They just had different roles in the man's life. One was short-term care, one was long-term care. And we get frustrated sometimes with short-term care people because they're not giving us long-term care. That's not their job in your life. That's not their role. That's not their responsibility. They may not even have the capability to be a long-term care person. It may not be in them. And so each of us are unique expressions of the divine. So let the no-term people be the no-term people. Let the short-term people be the short-term people. And let the long-term people be the long-term people in your life. Who are the no-term people that are in your life right now? Who are the short-term people that are in your life right now? Who are the long-term people who are in your life now? Your successful navigation through 2019, this love journey, this soul's journey, is to know who are the no-term, who are the short-term, and who are the long-term people in your life. And when you know that, you can enjoy this soul's journey, which is a love journey. Come on, thank you so much for being a part of the Daily Download. This is my last day. Tomorrow morning, I leave for Israel. Thank you. It means so much to me. All of you that have sown seed, and I tell you, you've been doing a phenomenal job. My Cash App has been bing, bing, bing. Square has been going bing, bing, bing. People have been putting money in my hand. Thank you so much for your support in this Israel experience. If you desire to be a part of it, it is not too late for you to do that. You can Cash App us today. You can also go to the website and sow a seed, especially if you desire to do international ministry. If you desire to travel internationally, or you know that you desire to go to Israel and know that what I make happen for other people, God will make happen for me. I love you so much. God bless you. Share this on your page. Until tomorrow morning, and yes, it will be recorded live at 6:30 a.m. Remember, it is already done. What you're praying for, what you're desiring, what you're hoping, what you're dreaming for, it is already done.